Hello, welcome to this month's video from the UCF AAC lab in conjunction with the FAAST Center. Today, we're going to be talking about assistive technology training, and more specifically, we'll be going over speech-generating devices. The Florida Alliance for Assistive Services and Technology, otherwise known as FAAST, has regional demonstration centers which provide services to increase awareness, access, and acquisition of assistive technology for all Floridians. Assistive technology can be defined as any item, piece of equipment, or product system, whether acquired commercially, off the shelf, modified, or customized, that is used to increase, maintain, or improve functional capabilities of a child with a disability. There is a wide range of assistive technology device categories such as activities of daily living, adaptive toys and games, communication, computer access, environmental access, mobility, and seating and positioning. At the Atlantic Regional Demonstration Center, we serve Orange, Seminole, Volusia, and Brevard counties. We provide trainings, demonstrations, information, and device loans. Our address and email are on the screen if you would like to contact us for more information. So today we're going to be talking about speech-generating devices, and we're going to be going over what a speech-generating device is, who can benefit from speech-generating devices, how they can help students with disabilities in the school setting, and the types of speech-generating devices and common myth about speech-generating devices. So first we're going to be going over what is a speech-generating device. A speech-generating device is a device that generates verbal output through a synthetic or recorded voice. They typically contain either a touchscreen or physical buttons that contain words for the clients that can select to create verbal output. Many speech-generating devices have customizable layouts, vocabulary, and selection methods to fit the needs of the client. You'll often see that many speech-generating devices have a strap that will make it easier to carry. So who can benefit from a speech-generating device? The most common time we think about speech-generating devices are children who have a physical disability and who have difficult time producing speech and being understood by others. For example, children with cerebral palsy often have dysarthria, which is weakness in the muscles. This can make it difficult for them to communicate their speech, so that is when we would think about having a speech-generating device for them. However, speech-generating devices aren't only for people with physical disabilities. They can also benefit clients who are, for example, nonverbal or who have language delays. Studies have shown that speech-generating devices can actually encourage natural speech production. For example, there are a number of studies coming out on how speech-generating devices can benefit people with autism spectrum disorder and support language skills. So how can speech-generating devices benefit kids transitioning to school? There are many benefits to clients having a speech-generating device in the school settings. They can communicate with their teacher about their wants and needs, and this will reduce overall frustrations associated with not being understood. Speech-generating devices can increase language functions. Speech-generating devices can increase social participation. For example, the student can ask questions and answer questions in the classroom so that they can be more actively a part of the classroom. And students can also interact with their peers, and this will enhance social relationships. So now we're going to talk more about the specific kinds of speech-generating devices and their different features. First, we have dedicated versus non-dedicated. Dedicated devices only contain a speech-generating program. For example, the Tobii Dynavox Snap Core is a dedicated device that only contains a speech-generating program. Then you have a non-dedicated devices, which is a device that contains additional functions such as internet or games. For example, there are many speech-generating device apps that you can download to your iPad or tablet, so that you have the additional functions of your device in addition to the speech-generating app. And this would make it a non-dedicated device. It is generally recommended that you use dedicated devices for younger children to avoid distraction by other functions. Next, we're going to talk about touchscreen and buttons. The most common speech-generating devices that we see in schools are touchscreen. With the touchscreen, you have the ability to navigate through multiple pages, so it can store a lot more words for the clients to use. Then, with physical buttons, as you see on the right side, there's much more limited options for word choices. However, the device that you see, the GoTalk 20, is a specific device that you can switch out the words and pictures. But this will take more time because you have to record new words that you want to use. So that's something that you want to think about as well. There are many different organizations of speech-generating devices. For example, some devices will have fewer words per screen, like the one on the left, and some will have more, like the ones on the bottom and the right. It can also be organized into different categories, and when you select a category, it will take you to a page with more words under that category that you can select. Next, we're going to talk about access methods. The most common type of access method is touchscreen, but there are also other access methods as well. And this is really important, especially when a child has motor difficulties that might make it hard for them to move their hand and their fingers to make the selection they want. So another option would be eye gaze. For eye gaze, the child can just look at the word that they want and it will be selected. Then there's also switches, which is another access method. There are a couple different ways that switches can work. One way is that every time that the client presses the switch, it will navigate to the next word or option. So they must press the switch multiple times to navigate to the word that they want. Another way is that the device scans through different options, and when the scanner reaches the option the child wants, the child can use the switch to make their selection. Switches can be attached to a device that uses touchscreen so that the client can use the switch, and the communication partner or caregiver can also navigate the device via touchscreen if needed. For our final topic, we are going to be going over speech-generating device myths. So the first myth is that a speech-generating device will reduce a child's desire to speak. Research has shown that the opposite is actually true, and speech-generating devices can help improve both natural speech production and language functions, improving overall communication abilities. Speech-generating devices can be used as additional support to enhance the child's overall communication skills. The next myth is that speech-generating devices are only useful for children with physical or motor disabilities. As we talked about earlier, there are a number of studies showing that speech-generating devices can benefit children with a variety of disabilities, such as autism spectrum disorder, language disorders, and many other disabilities. Speech-generating devices can be used to increase a child's natural speech abilities, even if they do not have a physical disorder that makes it difficult to speak. Another myth is that speech-generating devices are too difficult for young children to learn. The truth is, speech-generating devices should be introduced as early as possible to maximize successful outcomes. It may take time to both find the right device that best fits the client needs and for the client to learn how to use the device. So, to summarize today's training, speech-generating devices are a great tool to help children with disabilities communicate. They can help children with a variety of disabilities and not just difficulties with motor speech disorders. There are a variety of organizational methods, vocabulary options, and access methods in order to best fit the child's needs and abilities. And that is the end of the training. Thank you so much for your time. If you think you or a loved one may benefit from a speech-generative device, or if you would like to learn more about what we have to offer, please contact the FAAST Center with the email on the screen. Please note that the FAAST Center is by appointment only, so please email us and we will respond to you as soon as possible. Thank you.